wherever you are in the world and whatever time that you're watching this video. Hello again. Let's drive and chat with me. Oh boy. Jamaica, our little Jamaica. And everywhere we go, whether physically or virtually, we are always very spicy. So our little corner of social media was on fire this weekend, and in my opinion, it all started from a misunderstanding, which I consider the great misunderstanding of 2024. And boy, I tell you, we Jamaicans, we are, for lack of a better word, we're spicy. We're very spicy. So what I noticed, and if anyone has a different version, then you can drop it in the comment. But this is what I observed, which started this little firestorm, in our little corner of social media on the weekend. So there is one social media personality who lives here in Canada who had up a GoFundMe on his page, and he was asking for $10,000. So it's a young man, and in the description of the GoFundMe, he had that, he was in a relationship with someone. They had lived, they were living together, and the person moved out, and apparently the person had paid the rent, but then when the person moved out, the person took everything and even went back to the landlord and got back the rent that was paid. So which in turn put this social media person now in a little bind. And from watching another backstory and thing, it was apparently it was his supporters who had told him to create a GoFundMe to ask for assistance. So that was a GoFundMe. I mean, I saw it on his page, and when I looked at it, I'm like, seriously, people are asking for, just as how I would look at any other GoFundMe, because there's another, popular GoFundMe asking for money for lawyers, and I'm like, okay. And this is from people who have have their own money. So, in my estimation, I mean, if you have money, where are you going to be asking, your supporters for money for lawyer fee? It's to deal with custody issues and whatnot. But, just like this GoFundMe in Canada, I looked at it and I'm like, okay. I saw it and I moved on, because I knew that, there is no way I wouldn't be putting money towards that kind of GoFundMe. Like, it's not my business, And in my head, I'm thinking, a lot of these people, I mean, social media is great. People have their supporters. People are using social media to make money. But sometimes I think some people, push it. They push it too much. And for, I don't know, that's just lazy. I don't know. In my, I mean, if somebody really desperately, is in some sort of quandary, and for me personally, like medical bills and, certain life or death situations where they want to crowdsource, I think you can get a little bit of assistance. But for me, like asking for money for lawyer fee and now asking for money to pay rent, and then rent in that, well, I guess for the one in Canada for $10,000 for rent. I know that rent is expensive in Canada, but if you're personally thinking, if you're going to be asking for that, okay, you ask for first and last. In my estimation, I think that would be fair. But then for $10,000, I'm like, wow. Well, but anyway, that's them. That's their business. I just know that I would not, have been putting any money in it. And I see I'm blind here and definitely leave people business alone. If other people want to, donate to that cause, then okay, fine. That's their business. And this person is also working, So another social media blogger also saw it, and she came on her platform and she was discussing the whole, well, she saw the GoFundMe and then she started talking about the GoFundMe. But what I gather from her blogging, it's not necessarily, the GoFundMe wasn't necessarily the issue. It's the fact that she thought that people needed to manage their finances better, and not as soon as you meet in a little difficulty, you come on social media and you start begging for money. You have to use your brain to find other ways and means of working for whatever the situation, to rectify whatever situation you are in. And as a young person, and she was saying, and as any older person would do to tell a young person, is that you can't basically just sit down and expect handout from people. You have to actually get up and go and do the work. So if you're working one job and you're in a little bind or whatever, you don't just automatically think, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to, for lack of a better, to beg. If you have a job, you're going to need some extra money or whatever, go look another part-time job, to get that extra money. Go do something to make that extra money to top up your shortfall. Not just come and sit down and beg, because at the end of the day, we're all struggling. We're all living paycheck to paycheck. Everybody is going through their own circumstances. So and as a young man, what are we teaching our young men and our children, for that matter, is that at the least bit of a little bump in the road for you, instead of you using your brain to troubleshoot and say, okay, if I need to do this, then okay, I'm gonna do, go look another job. I'm good at this task and I'm good at that task or whatever. So to go out there and work for what you want, not just sit down and expect, and have a handout to social media for social media to give you money. So that is what I got from the bits of what I was listening to in the video. Mark you, I was in and out, because sometimes when I'm watching these live videos, I'm doing other stuff, you know. I'm multitasking, whether cooking or even sometimes I'm watching TV and listening as well. So, you know, sometimes some things may miss me. So if I'm wrong with anything, you know, you guys are free to let me know that I misunderstood something. So that was part 1. So part 2 now is another vlogger saw this vlog that was done, and she decided to discuss GoFundMe, and she said, you know, GoFundMe, anybody wants to put up GoFundMe, it's their business, it's their platforms and whatever. Yep, that's true. Anybody can do whatever they want, but I guess, you know, everything is out there in social media, so if someone sees it and wants to, you know, comment on it, then that's also their prerogative. And I think as long as, you know, people do things respectfully, you know. But then this second blogger, she was saying that us as Jamaicans, we always tend to drag down our own. So I think because she made mention of the previous blogger and called the blogger by name, and then in the same breath also said, you know, us Jamaicans tend to always want to drag down each other, you know, that's not nice. And then she was saying, you know, so what if the person wants to excuse me, have a GoFundMe? People should just, if you don't wanna donate to the GoFundMe, then don't donate to the GoFundMe, just see it and walk past it. So basically that is what she was saying. So that was that. So blogger A now was offended by that portion of the vlog that said that us Jamaicans, and indirectly, because her name, blogger A's name, was mentioned along with that statement,
in 2 kilometers,
she was
keep left to Highway 401
because she was saying she wasn't dragging down anyone, she was just speaking about the situation, and that, you know, basically we need to let people know that, you know, they need to manage, you know, their finances better. And there was also some other stuff that was, you know, mentioned in the video, because the young gentleman, you know, he had recently come to Canada, and, you know, when they came to Canada, you know, they were living lavish lifestyle, quote unquote lavish lifestyle and stuff, and blogger A was saying, you know, when you came to Canada, you guys were living, you know, lavish lifestyles. So what you should have been doing at that time,
keep left onto Highway 401 East,
you know, putting aside some money, you know, putting aside money for rainy day, and, you know, we never know what can happen in the future. So, you know, basically to just should have been putting money
continue
aside
on Highway
so that you can
401.
have something, you know, tucked away for a rainy day. So then now he would not necessarily have been in this predicament. So blogger A was offended that blogger B said, you know, she's tearing down the fellow Jamaicans. And there started the hellfire. blogger B, was saying, she did not say that. She's not bringing down anyone. She was just explaining whatever happened. Then blogger A has some renters or admin persons on the live, and they were saying some discriminating things about blogger B, and then when blogger A was talking about the whole situation, she did mention other bloggers' names, which, I think that part probably wasn't really necessary, because if you're dealing with situation one, you just do situation one without bringing, other people's names in it. But then I guess she was making references and stuff, about other persons, and then her referencing other bloggers, persons in the comments. They were disrespecting, the other persons whose names were mentioned, and I mean that part really wasn't necessarily disrespect and stuff. So a lot of people, was offended and went on their platforms, and this one disrespect this one, that one disrespect that one, that people coming to the aid of this one, people coming to the aid of that one, instead of everybody just saying, okay, well, there was a misunderstanding. Okay, if you wanted to say blogger A,
turn right on
maybe
Mississauga
what
Road.
you said about, or how your delivery was, it seemed as if you were dragging down the person. But then if you weren't dragging down the person, okay, we just squash. But no, us Jamaicans are way too spicy for that. We all want to have our say and dig in, and nobody can tell us what to do. And I mean, well, we're all adults, but yeah, and it just, you guys can watch social media, watch YouTube, watch Facebook, everything is all out there. It is all out there on YouTube and Facebook about this great misunderstanding, or it all stemmed from a misunderstanding. But I think, us in the Jamaican diaspora, we need cooler heads to prevail. We just need to calm down a little bit, and everyone can have opposing opinions, and we don't need to bite off each other's head for their differences in opinion. Because opinion is just that. Opinion is an opinion, and everyone views situations differently. So I may think that, okay, asking a GoFundMe to pay for your rent is a bit out of tune, whereas you may think it's not out of tune. But then you don't have to be disrespecting each other, for their opinions. You can have respectable differences of opinion. We're all adults. So that is my little 2 cents. I listen to all the vloggers. I like their different the different content. Some, I don't agree with some, or I don't agree with some content sometimes, but I like them all. I listen to them all. Everyone gives their own perspective on certain things. If I don't like what somebody is saying, I move on until another time. Then I will tune in again. Have nothing bad to say about anybody, because I don't know these people in real life. I just look and move on. If I don't like something, I move on. I don't need to watch, if I don't like it, because it's not affecting me personally. You know what I mean? But yeah, in my opinion, this is what caused a social media firestorm on the weekend in the a little part of the Jamaican diaspora. You can let me know in the comment section if that was your assessment as well. And what I'm talking about is the initial misunderstanding, not what happened after, because a lot of stuff happened after. So not what happened after, but the initial cause of the misunderstanding. Because I call it a misunderstanding, because I don't think nothing was purposely done or purposely said to offend anyone.
In 500
in my opinion,
meters, turn right on Credit View
I
Road.
just think that it was, all a misunderstanding in the original message, and a misunderstanding both ways, or both ways. All right, so
turn right on Credit View
leave
Road.
a comment and let me know your thoughts. All right, please like up the video and share. All right, talk to you guys in another video.